Netflix making, of course, the big bet, $82.7 billion US of blockbuster bet to Mandy. And this is about agreeing to buy Warner Brothers Discovery Studios and a streaming unit. This is a deal that could reshape Hollywood. Netflix is $27.75 a share. So that is $27.75 per share offer. Top bids from Paramount and Comcast, handing it tentpole franchises like Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and of course, DC's superheroes. And we're not mentioning Friends. I mean, that's my favorite. Netflix says the deal will expand U.S. production, boost original content spend, unlock billions in cost savings, but its rivals may still counter, keeping the bidding war alive. The acquisition is expected to close in about 12 to 18 months. And I don't know, given the lots of questions around the regulatory setup this deal could have, Mandy, that it could actually take longer. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the important thing to note here is that the deal is not officially done until it gets rubber stamped by both shareholders and regulators. And I think the regulator part of this is the really key one, because there are a lot of antitrust concerns, and even policymakers on both sides of the aisle, so Democrats and Republicans, some have spoken out and are very concerned about the competition side of things, the antitrust side of things. A Republican Senator Mike Lee said the acquisition should send antitrust alarms to antitrust enforcers around the world, and even U.S. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren said the deal could force you into higher prices, fewer choices over what and how you watch, and may even put American workers at risk. And this American workers part of it obviously is what Hollywood is really concerned about, that they could see job losses. Whenever you get any kind of consolidation, you sometimes get a broom that comes through, and where there's overlap, the jobs are at risk. And also, you know, what about the theatres? You know, will they maintain the theatres? Because Netflix has this policy of only having a very sort of limited release, if any release at all, of their movies. So, you know, Hollywood is speaking out. You know, that the screenwriters and the actors and anyone who's got any kind of stake in this is a little bit alarmed about what it means for their jobs.
Absolutely, and I think there was already some price action, negative price action on Friday from some of the theater exhibitors like AMC and Marcus as well. But I do want to bring the conversation to this part of the world and what Netflix and this Warner Brothers deal could mean for Asia's streaming market. And it's already very much of a fragmented market, and we've got cultural differences and the linguistic barrier, diversity, let's call it that. So Netflix is facing a lot of competition, and I think this is one answer that Netflix is coming up with, that this is not exactly about innovation. It's about buying growth here, spending that kind of money, Mandy. So I wonder if it's a sort of an admission that they are seeing some sort of a top when it comes to their own organic growth, and they want to sort of grow their way out of this. And, you know, we just had that wall, and maybe we can show our viewers once again, Mandy, that the shows that we had Netflix originals, and the ones that really the old, really good old ones are from Warner Brothers, you cannot really watch Squid Game twice, 3 times. But Friends, I can just have them on like as a background at my home when I'm cooking dinner. What do you think?
Well, you know, I think the problem is that we have just too many options now. I have option paralysis. You know, back in the day, Netflix was your only option, and I watched Netflix religiously. Now I have subscriptions to something like 8 different streaming services, and I only now watch one, and I'm going to say it's not Netflix. So, you know, this is the problem, right? We've all got subscription fatigue, and eventually you think, okay, I'm just going to get rid of all of them. I'm going to go back to a nice, healthy book.